The Mavs get burned at home by the Suns to drop to 0-2 on their current 4-game homestand. We'll break down the good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's game coming up next on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs postgame show powered by Game Time and Michelob Ultra. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. And Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Carello. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs. The Mavericks fall tonight, unfortunately, at home, 123-114 to the Phoenix Suns to drop to 3-9 on the season and 0-2 on their current 4-game homestand. We'll break it all down here for you over the course of the next hour. Our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr. is going to be joining us from the AAC a little bit later on in our show, as well as our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. He will also be joining us as well. A lot of reporting over the last 24 hours with respect to the Mavericks changing of the guard in their front office. But the Mavericks unfortunately lose tonight by 9 at home to drop to 0-6 so far against the Western Conference this season. The Mavericks dropped to what is 0-2 on their current 4-game homestand, 2-6 overall at the AAC through 8 games so far this season. Suns continue their hot play as they move to 7-5 on the season, have now won 6 of their last 7 games. Mavericks had 6 guys in double figures, led by Klay Thompson, who had 19 points, took 16 threes in this game, made 6 of them. Cooper Flagg had 16 points. Brandon Williams had 17 points in the losing effort. Suns also had 6 guys in double figures, led by Devin Booker with his 26 points and Grayson Allen with 23 on the night as well, as the 3-ball got going as the game went on for the Phoenix Suns. Bobby Carello, as unfortunately the Mavericks made it close in the fourth quarter, giving themselves a chance within one possession, but not able to come up with the goods at the end.
Yeah. The Suns are good and the Mavs are. I mean, I don't know if the Suns are good, but the Mavs aren't good. So yeah, I mean, the Mavs just aren't good. I'm not like despondent. I just didn't know where to go from there. But I was doing the watch along, and they started with some juice. They came out of the gates, they built a lead, and it was fun and it was exciting, and there was back and forth, and they're doing all this stuff, and then midway through the first quarter, they went to the bench and they immediately gave the lead back. And it was basically not again until, like that early, kind of late third, early fourth quarter portion of the game. That middle, 30 minutes of the game, they just looked bad. This team is there are a lot of players on this team. This team is deep. But you're already missing AD, you're already missing Lively, you're already missing Kyrie, so that's already 3 guys that have to step up. And then PJ gets hurt, so that's another guy that has to step up. So now all of a sudden your bench group is like your starting lineup. It's not your bench group. And then your bench group is now your third stringers. And, D'Lo came in the game and was just not very good. Caleb Martin came in the game, wasn't very good either. And, I mean, they got outclassed. But I'm leaving this game feeling very good about Cooper Flagg. I thought he was great. I thought Moussa Cisse was incredible. Moussa is probably I don't know if he's my favorite Maverick. I think that's still Kyrie, and then probably PJ after that. But Moussa's climbing fast. Coop in that category is in that discussion too. But Moussa Cisse is freaking awesome, man. I really, really, really liked his game, and I thought Max Christie was pretty good too. And Klay made some threes, so there's a lot to feel encouraged about. But yeah, they're not a good team. It's going to be really, really tough for them to beat any winning teams for a long time.
Yeah, Moussa Cisse gave them a lift off the bench, 4 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks before he eventually fouled out of tonight's game. Cooper Flagg had a nice game as well. As you can see, Mavericks actually shot the ball decently, shooting 50% from the field tonight, shot 36% from 3, but the Phoenix Suns tonight shooting 40% from downtown. What killed the Mavericks tonight untimely turnovers and too many, as they committed 21 turnovers tonight to the Phoenix Suns 12. With a Mavericks team that struggles to find offense, they were able to get the ball, especially going downhill. I thought they made a concerted effort, especially in the first quarter, to really get downhill and attack the paint. In fact, their first 14 points of the game all came within the paint before a Max Christie three-pointer. So I thought they made a game plan to, let's get downhill, let's attack. The Suns don't really have any quality shot blockers or really rim protection in the middle, and I thought early on they were really aggressive and got out to what was a 28-18 lead. But I thought that would continue to be the recipe as the game went on, is to get into the paint as much as possible, drive, and try to force the issue at the rim. And I thought they did a good job of that, especially early on in the first quarter in tonight's game.
This is hard to do that whenever it's a lot easier to do that off of misses and turnovers than it is off of makes. And so Phoenix, started pretty cold, and they did have some giveaways, and the Mavs were getting out and running and scoring pretty easily. PJ was really turbo aggressive in this game. Took a couple threes early too. I think PJ really wanted to come out and make a statement. I think that he obviously very outspoken last year during the chants at the games, and he talked again before the game tonight and mentioned that too. So I think PJ wanted to come out and not make a statement toward the Mavs fans or whatever, but get the fans going, and then also say we're good, guys. I know that this is some turmoil, but we're coming out looking for blood. It's just really hard to sustain that kind of maniacal attack at both ends of the floor. 48, and Grayson Allen made a couple shots. Jordan Goodwin, of all people, came in off the bench and made 5 shots in a row. And it was the wind came out of their sails almost as quickly as it came into them. I don't know, as it hit them,
as it started.
And it was kind of. It was a fun. It turned from statement performance into just a cute start to the game. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, and unfortunately, PJ Washington left this game in the first quarter with what was deemed a left shoulder strain and did not return for the remainder of tonight's game. So a team that was already shorthanded with no Anthony Davis, who missed his 7th straight game with the left calf strain. Dereck Lively II missed his 9th straight game with the right knee sprain. Now PJ Washington dealing with a left shoulder strain as well. We will see what his availability looks like as the rest of the week goes on. The Mavericks will get back on the floor on Friday when they welcome in a banged-up Los Angeles Clippers team. We just found out today that Bradley Beal is going to be undergoing hip surgery for a fractured hip, so his season is done. Kawhi Leonard already dealing with an ankle sprain himself, so the Clippers are a banged-up team as well that will be coming in for the Mavericks' second cup game on Friday. A couple other numbers to define tonight's game. Unfortunately, we mentioned how much the Mavericks turned the ball over with the 21 turnovers that they had. The Suns capitalized on that quite a bit. In fact, scoring 31 points off the 21 turnovers that the Mavericks had tonight. The Mavericks only scoring 16 points off the 12 turnovers that the Suns had as well. The bench was really good tonight for Dallas. Scored 48 points, was a plus 15 in the bench department, led by Klay Thompson and his 19 points as he tried to keep the Mavericks in it, knocking down some threes. But overall, unfortunately, what we've continued to talk about early on in this season, untimely turnovers in the fourth quarter, not being able to make enough plays down the stretch. And once again, that was the case in tonight's fourth quarter against Phoenix.
Yeah, I thought Phoenix really they were
trying to give it back.
They were playing so slow, and I mean they got some new guys in there playing new roles and stuff, so I guess they're probably still trying to figure it out or something, but they were not very convincing in the fourth quarter, and the Mavs really dialed it up on defense. Let's give them some credit. Coop, especially on Booker, I thought Coop played a great defensive game, a really destructive defensive game. Moussa Cisse had a lot of energy around the rim. I thought Klay and Max Christie both had pretty good possessions against Booker as well. And so Dallas, I thought, I executed a pretty good game plan. At the end of the day, Booker still ended up with a huge stat line. That guy is just playing.
He's playing unbelievable.
He is playing
right now.
The most under control, just patient, precise basketball I think I've ever seen him play before. He's really, really good. But the game slowed down a lot, and so that's probably in effect limiting your fast break opportunities and transition opportunities, but also kind of seduces you into also playing slow. And Brandon Williams at times is able to get out in space and make something happen or take a guy one-on-one to the rim, but otherwise the Mavs really had to earn all of their looks. They had a couple of possessions in the fourth where it was like drive, kick, three. Some of them they made, a lot of them they missed. And then anytime, anytime, even if the offense is moving well, anytime any of these guys is trying to do too much, they're usually going to end up coughing it up. They just don't have the personnel on this team to like chain together five or six dribble moves, to beat someone. Like, it's really hard for them to score in isolation. So you have to keep moving. You have to trust the pass. You have to cut. You have to keep trying to get out and run. And really, like, the way that you would force a shot on offense, you also have to force the pace on offense. You have to run. You just have to play fast. It doesn't matter what tempo the other team is playing at. Like, you have to dictate the terms of engagement.
And at times, Brandon Williams is really able to get downhill nicely in transition to be able to make some finishes at the rim. That's one thing I do really enjoy about Brandon Williams, is that speed and pace at which he plays with, is able to use his body and use the rim as a shield to really be able to make some nice finishes. He had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists on the night as well. Yes, he did have the 4 turnovers, but gave you 3 steals. So did a little bit of everything for this team at the point guard position. And this is the second straight game that he has started. He has earned the right to be the starting point guard, given what the Mavericks have and the lack of depth at that position. He's giving them everything that he's capable of doing to be able to provide some quality point guard play to run this offense for this team right now.
Did have some turnovers,
yeah,
but
did.
I mean, D'Lo did too. D'Lo had a really, really bad game.
D'Lo had an awful
unfortunately.
game tonight.
And Brandon Williams right now, he's strung together like 3 or 4 games in a row, I think. But in that period before that, like, he had that great game, that first game back, he was awesome. The next game, he was totally terrible. And then since then, he's been mostly pretty good. And so
starting to settle in a little bit.
I think that starting role is safe for now, until he has a couple bad games in a row. But
I mean, who else are you gonna give it to?
Well, D'Lo, but
I'm not giving it to D'Angelo Russell.
I'm not giving it back to Coop either. I hope
I'm not giving it back to Coop.
A thing of the past.
Yeah, like, that's over with.
So B-Will is the guy for now, and we see it in stretches of games, but also even in moments of games. There's times where he just has the ball, and then you blink and he's at the rim. He's just so fast. He's so quick. He's crafty. He had this drive tonight where he picked up his dribble around the free throw line, went 1-2, and went really high soft.
Yeah, a little giant killer. Yeah,
flipped it in. That was so nice. He is just really, really good at getting into the lane, making something happen. This team has a dearth of playmaking, but also not a lot of quick guys. He's able to be quick and make plays both for himself and for others, and so that's just very valuable to a team that has those guys. It's even more valuable to a team that doesn't. And so I'm coming away really encouraged by his performance, by Coop, and by Moussa Cisse. I mean, there's and Clay too. I mean, if he sees a couple shots go in, maybe he can have a good stretch here as well.
A Mavericks team, of course, who is turning the page from the Nico Harrison era, played their first game without their general manager, who, of course, was fired yesterday. The vibes prior to the game, a little bit more upbeat, obviously. The introductions were a little bit more upbeat, and the Mavericks gave the fans a lot to cheer about in those first 5 or 6 minutes of the game, getting out to what was a double-digit lead, unfortunately giving that back. But the atmosphere you could feel was a little bit lighter in the building tonight. It was a little bit lighter, period, because there's no portable stairs to roll out there in tonight's game as well. But you could feel the atmosphere was a little bit better inside the American Airlines Center. Now, can the team be able to string some things together if you're on that particular train? But you could definitely feel it was a little bit lighter in the air tonight for sure.
Yeah, I was doing the watch along, and so the game volume was very low. I didn't really hear it, but I know at the very beginning of Mavs games, it's always some people in traffic, and you got your late arriving crowd and everything. You stayed until when? Did you stay into
first half.
So did it get even in the second quarter? It was mostly Suns in the second quarter, but was it still pretty good?
It started to get a little bit more subdued. I mean, the Suns made their run and kind of took the air out of the building a little bit, but anytime there were some good plays, you felt the energy a little bit better versus the last several games at home. It was just, the energy just wasn't there.
Quiet as a crypt.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I expect that to continue to get a little bit more upbeat, even with the team struggling right now, because the guy that was in charge simply isn't here.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, I'm coming away encouraged from this. I feel good about this. Now, this is a loss, but that lets you know kind of where I've changed my expectations to.
Yeah, the bar is completely different.
Yeah, like I'm not upset about the result of this game at all. In fact, it's probably good for in the long run. But like that was an effort that I can be proud of. That was an effort that Mavs fans can be proud of. Those guys played hard. Young guys led the way. Like that is, I would love for that kind of manic defensive energy to be the identity of this team. Like we're going, if you try and come in the lane, we are either going to block it to the 37th row, or we're going to foul the crap out of you. Like, Moussa laid guys out in there, man.
Yeah, Moussa not having it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, you try to come in that lane with that weak stuff. Moussa not having it. Like, he is first team, I can't go back all-star. Like, that's my mantra.
It's fantastic,
for Cisse. Like, he can't go back, and he plays like it every single time. He got 6 fouls to use. He going to use them.
I love him.
He's going to do everything he can to help his team try to win games. Let's take our first break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we will get you to the turning point of what was tonight's game. Also get to your super chats as well. All that and more coming up next. But if you ever wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, you have the chance to do it. If you want to see the name on the back of your jersey or share the dugout with some all-time greats, you could do it with the Rangers Fantasy Camp. With the Rangers Fantasy Camp, presented by National Car Rental, and it's your opportunity to live out those dreams. Taking place January 7th through 11th at Ranger Spring Training in Surprise, Arizona. Rangers Fantasy Camp is a dream experience for any die-hard Rangers fan. Across 5 unforgettable days, campers will be treated like a big leaguer, custom Rangers uniform, and professional-grade equipment as well. In fact, you'll have access to full clubhouse amenities, post-game happy hours, and the whole 9 yards. And the best part, you'll enjoy a hands-on guidance and encouragement with some of the best players to ever don a Rangers uniform, including Pudge Rodriguez and Fergie Jenkins, as well, with more alumni announcements.
DLS's own Fergie Jenkins.
That's right. Friend of the DLS Rangers podcast.
That's right.
Fergie Jenkins for sure. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you won't want to miss. Spots are limited and going fast. Secure yours today at rangers.com/fantasycamp. That's rangers.com/fantasycamp.
I personally love spreadsheets, but I know a lot of people don't. And unfortunately, with how many freaking apps there are for everything, you kind of need a spreadsheet to keep up with your finances, unless you head to monarch.com and set up an account with our friends at Monarch. It is your personal financial command center. All of your accounts, your expenses, your investments, all of that stuff, your 401ks, your IRAs, all that stuff is conveniently all in one place, and it doesn't move. It'll take care of everything for you. It'll even give you some financial goals. It is great. You don't have to chase down everything. You're not going to forget about expenses. You don't have to log into 47 different platforms every day. No, it is all in one place so you can stay informed and nothing will ever slip through the cracks. And that goes for couples as well. That's double the trouble, KG. It's not just one account. Now you got 2. That's right. Even more stuff to keep track of, but Monarch will take care of all of that for you. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DLLS at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code DLLS.
Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on our DLLS Mavs postgame show as the Mavericks fall tonight 123-114 at home to the Phoenix Suns. The Suns now having won 6 of their last 7 games, moved to 7-5 on the year. Mavericks dropped to 3-9 after their first 12 games. Let's get you to our super chats. So we got one already in tonight's post-game show. Shout out to Javier Ramirez with the $1.99 super chat. Rick Carlisle as the GM. Who says no?
Probably Rick.
Probably Rick. Probably Rick, actually, at this rate.
Probably. You're getting Tyrese Halliburton back next year.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers, I mean.
Maybe even this year.
Yeah.
Probably not, right?
No, I wouldn't think so.
I mean, Tatum is already like dunking. He's already hanging on the rim.
Yeah, Tatum, I mean, that's the young legs, man, between Halliburton and Tatum. I would be shocked, though, if Tatum actually made it back. Yeah. He says he wants to be back and play this year, so we'll see. Celtics got a big win tonight as well. They blew out the Orlando Magic, actually. So we'll see. But no, Rick Carlisle, I think he's okay with what he's got going on. He just signed a new fat contract extension as well in Indiana. So
no, the Magic blew out the Knicks. The Celtics blew out the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies, okay, thank you.
By 36, dude.
36?
The Grizzlies have not won a game since beating the Mavs.
The Wizards haven't won a game since beating the Mavs either.
The Grizzlies, after beating the Mavs by 1 million, actually before beating the Mavs by 1 million, they lost to the Rockets by 15. Since then, Thunder 14, Knicks 13, Celtics 36.
Golly, man.
This season, the Mavs, so this is kind of the existential problem facing this team right now. This is coming into this game. The Mavs are 30th in points per possession, but off a made field goal. So we talked about how the Mavs want to get out and run.
Yeah.
Right. And Coop in the open floor, dude, he's so electric. He's making passes.
Fun.
He is really, really good. But off a made field goal where it's much tougher to run, the Mavericks are averaging 0.9 points per possession this season.
Wait, what?
0.9 points per possession following a made field goal. That's 30th in the league. 29th place is 1.01. They're more than 10 points per 100 possessions, basically. Worse than the Pelicans.
They're not even clearing a point.
And the Pelicans are 0.11 ahead of the Mavs. The Pelicans are 0.11 off the league average. So like the Pelicans are closer to league average than they are to dead last. Like the Mavs half-court offense is in a bad way right now. And so that's why, these good games from Brandon Williams, that's why seeing Clay make some shots go down. That's why, Coop just continuing to battle through the left shoulder thing, which came up again tonight. It's important if you are of the opinion that you want the Mavs to go for it. But also, as it happens, Brandon Williams and Coop are like maybe two of your, I don't know if you include Brandon Williams in this, but like two of the guys that you would want to see around here long term. So like seeing them improve now is still good. Like they're so much farther behind 29th than 29th is behind 28th that like I just don't see how it gets fixed.
Yeah, if you're on the Mavericks need to tank type train, this was a perfect game for you. Competitive loss, a team that was down big in this game, found a way to claw back in it, but ultimately falling short at the end. So if you're on the team tank train, tonight was the night for you in a lot of ways. If you're on the side of still trying to find ways to win games to get themselves in position to try to make the play-in or get into the playoffs, I mean, the losses continue to pile up. So on that side of things, not going well if you're on that particular side of the coin there. I mean, you started to mention it, got out to a good start in the first quarter and in the first half, but unfortunately their shot making started to fail them at the end of the first quarter and going into the second quarter as well. That's where we get to the turning point of tonight's game where the Mavericks led 28-18 after a Klay Thompson three-pointer that had them up by 10 with 2:26 left in that first quarter. Unfortunately, the Suns closed the final 2:26 on what was a 12-0 run where they were able to take a lead at 30-28 at the end of one. That continued that run into the second quarter. In fact, it got out of hand to a 21-4 run where the Suns found themselves leading at halftime 63-53, but at the same time, the Suns turned around what was a 10-point deficit into a 7-point lead, leading 39-32 with 9 minutes left in that second quarter. And really,
how long did that run take?
That run took 3 minutes, so over 5 minutes between the last 2:30 of the first quarter.
It was 21 points in 5 minutes?
Yeah, between the last 2.5 minutes of the first quarter and the first 3 minutes of the second quarter.
That's all that Jordan Goodwin scoring.
That's exactly, yeah. When Jordan Goodwin got in there, started knocking down shots, that's when the Suns started to heat up from the three-point line as well, and they turned that around quick, and they pretty much didn't look back from it. I mean, the Mavericks were able to cut it to 1. They went on what was a 11-5 run to cut it down to 1. Klay Thompson made a couple threes during that stretch. Jaden Hardy made a 3 in that stretch as well at 44-43. But again, in a game of runs, you look back again at that second quarter, the Suns went on a 15-4 run to extend it back to 12 at 59-47 with a minute 23 left in that first half. That second quarter really doomed them in this game, given the shot making that the Suns were starting to put together in that second period there.
Yeah, I forget if it was the last post-game show or the one before that or the one before that or the one before that. There's been a lot of losses lately, but after one of those games, it was a similar kind of thing. It was kind of like the game could have gone either way, but the Mavs had this 5-6 minute stretch where they just got absolutely pulverized, and that was that.
The Memphis game, they gave about 40 points in that quarter alone.
Yeah, like they just, it was probably after that game then.
Yeah.
Like the Mavs, the offense has been so dry all season that if the defense just breaks for 3 or 4 minutes, it's just game over.
It is.
They went minus 17 in 5 minutes, whatever it was that you just said, and that's the game. Like
that's the game.
It's almost game over. Just right. You could just say, all right, it's done. They were down 75-57 at one point on the watch along. It was like 4 minutes into the third quarter. And I was like, I don't even know if they're going to get to 75 by the end of the third. Like the Suns' lead is just so safe. And, if you do have a good offense, you're down 18, you're probably rolling your eyes, but you're like, man, whatever. Like, okay, you make a couple threes in a row and boom, it's a brand new game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have that level of confidence in this offense right now. If it's a situation where they're down 4 and they need some stops, like, okay, I could talk myself into the Mavs stringing together some stops. They did in the fourth quarter tonight.
They did.
But it's just they are not going to win many games this year, maybe period, honestly, depending on what happens. But like, even at full strength, I'm not sure how many games they're going to win this year if they ever fall behind by double digits. They just don't have the explosive and consistent offense that you need in order to scratch and claw your way back from those. And I mean, just think back to that finals team, that 2024 team, dude, how many times they down 15, 20 points? They came back and won like it was nothing, because the offense was just so good and the defense was also good. Like, that's why you have to be good at both ends of the floor, because you have 5 bad minutes and this team is going to lose every game.
Yeah, and we sound like broken records when it comes to this particular point, but it holds true. The margin of error is virtually non-existent for this team, that if you cannot find yourself putting together consistent stretches of offense and you have a lapse in your defense in a 3-4 minute span, and a team as good as the Suns, especially from the three-point line, we talked about it during the pregame show, over 42% of the Suns' points come from the three-point line, which is number 1 in the league. They started getting things going because they started knocking down shots. And at one point, I didn't know what the hell had gotten into Dillon Brooks, because at one point he was hitting threes, he was hitting turnaround jumpers. Like, he started to get going offensively as well. You talked about Jordan Goodwin and the offensive performance that he had. And Grayson Allen, coming off what was a 42-point performance on Monday, was able to back it up with a pretty decent game. Shooting the ball from the three-point line. Did he get you in the money, by the way?
I'm going home a winner tonight, Kevin.
Let's go. Okay. Somebody go home a winner at least, damn it.
Yeah. Now, where does all of that shooting come from, though? Like, how are all of those good looks generated? Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, yeah.
The Suns have the one guy. I mean, they have a lot of good players. I'm not trying to diminish them, but they have the one guy that no matter where he is on the floor, he strikes fear in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mavs were either doubling him just straight up, sending pressure his way, or they were doing the thing that they did with Giannis, where it was kind of this late double. Like, once he puts the ball on the floor, that's whenever you come at him kind of from a random direction, try and freak him out. Or you're just stacking bodies in the paint, trying to really sort of collapse the floor as he gets in the middle of the floor. But his vision is so much better than it was when they played him in 2022. He's able to see the whole floor. He's very patient, but he can also get to his spots. And that is another example of why this team needs Kyrie so badly, or just someone that can create shots at a high level, because opponents don't have to do that stuff for the Mavs. They don't have to send extra pressure toward anyone ever, whereas the Mavs basically every time down the floor, anytime Devin Booker moves with the ball, someone else is having to react, and that means the guy that they're guarding is going to get open. They were losing Iguodala at the rim. They were losing Nick Richards at the rim, because bigs were having to step over and help, and the Mavs don't have a guy right now that forces that sort of chain reaction. And just, I mean, Devin Booker was really, really, really impressive tonight.
Yeah, he's turned himself into a really good playmaker for this team. There were questions on whether or not he could be able to get to that kind of level as a passer, but has really turned that up, especially this year, because they really are playing with no true point guard on this team. Devin Booker is kind of really running the show for Phoenix, and he's been. Which,
remember at the start of the KD sort of, this was even before Beal, we were all laughing at them like, Devin Booker's not a point guard.
No,
and even at times it was like, I don't even know if he wants to play point guard, but dude, he figured it out, man.
I mean, they tried to bring in Tyus Jones. That didn't work out for them very well. But he, to his credit, has added that to his game and has become a really, really good playmaker for this Suns team. So Devin Booker doing it all in a lot of ways for this team to get them, continuing to keep them going on a nice stretch as they won now 6 of 7 games. Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Harrod Jr., live from the American Airlines Center to get his thoughts and reactions on what Jason Kidd had to say postgame after tonight's loss to Phoenix. All that and more coming up next.
First, it is one thing to support long-term growth, and it's another to go out and celebrate it. Thanks to all the amazing Dallas Stars fans who embraced long-term growth in all its feathered glory. Do we still got that hat, Kevin? Can you hand me that hat, please? Our Main Street pop-up branch, It was the ultimate celebration of PNC's reliable, responsible approach to long-term financial planning, told through the lens of another amazing long-term investment, epic hockey hair, like what I got right here. At the Main Street branch, fans had the chance to pick up their own Dallas Stars hockey hair hat, a limited edition Stars hat with epic hockey hair. I cannot say that for some reason. Epic hockey hair. And Craig Ludwig signed a bunch of these too for some Stars fans as well. It was great to see. It was a reminder that the best things, whether it's a legendary flow or a strong financial plan, come to those who are patient and committed to the long run. If you didn't get one of these, then you're missing out. But I know a lot of Stars fans did, and it was a blast to see it all.
Let me talk to you about reputation and trust. Let me talk to you about quality service. Let me talk to you about experience and no high-pressure tactics, and that is with Qualys Roofing. With over 700 five-star reviews and an average rating of 4.9, Qualys Roofing is one of the most trusted names in roofing across North Texas and Austin. Homeowners and businesses alike constantly praise Qualys for their honesty, follow-through, and quality workmanship as well. Whether it's home or your business, Qualys Roofing has you covered, and they specialize in both residential and commercial projects. Also, they're based right here in North Texas, so their local experience, and they don't put any pressure on you as anything like a fly-by-night group or anything like that. Qualys isn't some storm-chasing fly-by-night crew. Their local experience and committed to doing things the right way. And when you schedule a roof inspection with Qualys, you get a free DLLS shirt as well. And if you replace your roof with Qualys, you can choose between a free Blackstone grill and Traeger smoker as well, because getting a new roof should come with a little sizzle as well. Call or go online to schedule your free roof inspection, and don't forget to ask about your free grill as well. Visit QualisGC.com or just search Qualis Roofing and Construction. That is QUALIS or call 817-500-9008 and get started with Qualis Roofing today. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on our DLLS Mavs post-game show. Mavericks fall at home tonight, 123-114. Oh, you want me to put it back right now? I got you.
Well, I don't want to reach over there. Yeah,
there we
thank
go.
you.
You got it. All of you, appreciate you joining us here on our show. Let's go out to the American Airlines Center right now and welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer. He knows sports. He is, of course, Ron Harrod Jr. Ron, what's going on?
How you fellas doing?
Pretty good. Encouraged. I don't know.
Bobby's a winner either way.
Well, this is the least mad we've been after a loss this year, so I think that's progress.
I think mine is more so like I've kind of resolved myself to what this is about to be this year. So, I mean, what's the point in getting, at least at the moment, too charged up about it, because this team is just, unfortunately, not very good. They gave, I thought, was a good effort tonight in a lot of different ways. They could have allowed this thing to get really out of hand once they got down 15, 18 points, but they rallied back, just not enough plays to be made at the end. Your thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, well, one, PJ Washington only plays 5 minutes in this game. He started off really hot. I think he's been the Mavs' best player this year, as we've all kind of been saying. And again, he only plays 5 minutes. He had like some type of shoulder injury. Jason Kidd did not give an update on his status for next game. I guess we'll just have to wait until Friday to kind of see what happens. Cooper Flagg also injured his shoulder. When I asked Jason Kidd about that, he says he thinks it was his shoulder that was injured. So I think we'll just have to take it as that. But he did go to the locker room. He came back, played a pretty good game. So overall, when Bobby says the word encouraged, I am encouraged. But Cooper Flagg is just stacking good games kind of on top of each other. That's kind of all you can kind of hope for. To me, the Mavs are kind of at the point right now where you just want to see some of the young players like Cooper Flagg or your players that are just available at this point. I mean, there's no one's playing basketball for the Dallas Mavericks. So the players like Moussa Cisse and Brandon Williams, when those players are given those minutes, you wanted to see them step up, and they did tonight. But, I mean, it wasn't fun to watch Grayson Allen score over 20 points. It wasn't fun to watch, like, Dylan Brooks grab his crotch. I mean, these are not fun moments if you're a Mavs fan. Like, these are players that, like, you hate to see do well if you're a fan of the other team. It's like, I don't want to see Grayson Allen happy. I don't want to see Dylan Brooks happy, but sadly, when they come in Dallas, these players just seem to get a hot streak. So while the offense, found some hotness later in the game, it was tough. I'm pretty sure for some Mavs fans to watch Dylan Brooks and Grayson Allen get off.
I mean, I don't know how to follow that. I mean, it's just.
I agree. I agree. So if you're looking for the rays of sunshine, now obviously you want to see Coop play well. You want to see some of the other young guys play well, Max Christie, those guys. But like, I do think, and maybe I'm just being like a complete simp, but it would be nice if they did get a win out of it every now and then, just to like feel good about themselves. Now at this point, they're on pace to win 20 games, so it's not. That's not a lot of wins. So maybe if you win 1 out of every 4,
Bobby, they play
that's
82
fine.
of them.
I know, but like,
golly,
they're not going to go 3-79. But like, I do think that it is.
I mean, at this rate, no, I'm just joking.
Well, yeah, no, I do recognize the value of winning a game every now and then, like for morale, for the psychological aspect, and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, they, Again, I'm walking out of this game feeling really good about Coop, feeling really good about Brandon Williams, feeling really good about Moussa Cisse, and I'm going to keep saying that until I believe it myself.
I'm about to say, you said it a few times, so now that you've let the cat out the bag, okay,
I'm manifesting, man.
I got it now. I mean, Sheldon, you're right. I mean, yeah, I said it plenty of times during the offseason and into the season. This is going to be a gap year for this team. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a gap, but damn. But I mean, I was right there with you. What did Jason Kidd had to say during his post-game comments?
Yeah, I mean, well, first he talked about that the team played hard. They're out a lot of players, and he thought of the world and the Moussa Cisse's of the world. They played hard in the game. And he's kind of been saying that in the pregame. He said he kind of felt disrespected by the fans because he thought the players were playing hard. They were still kind of, chanting to fire Nico and stuff. Now that Nico's gone out of the building, the fans were chanting defense and kind of things like this to kind of show they were more in the game on a positive note. And I thought when the Mavs were, making that comeback, I think they got within 3. The fans were standing up. They were into the game. They seemed to, really love it, even in a game where basically none of your big name players are playing. I did miss Klay Thompson. I think he's speaking at the podium right now, him and Cooper Flagg. But Klay Thompson did take 16 threes tonight. He did make 6, which, to be fair, is pretty good relatively for 3-point shooting. But I think Klay Thompson made a season high in threes, is also a season high in attempts, shots, everything. This kind of season highs throughout the board for Klay Thompson. I'm interested to see, okay, if PJ Washington can't go, is Klay Thompson back in the starting lineup? Do they just get smaller? Like, what happens? And then, sadly, we didn't get to talk about D'Angelo Russell, but I just want to bring it up because I wrote about it. I mean, D'Angelo Russell has basically been stinking it up the last 3 games. I mean, he played 14 minutes tonight. He's 2 for 7, 1 for 6 for 3. He's a minus, looks like 18. I just for a player that I capped so hard for, we have multiple shorts in the page and me talking about him. I'm saying he should be in the starting lineup. And ever since that day, since that video has been released, I mean, tour dates. I mean, I guess tonight he was February the 7th. Let's hope we can get June the 9th for his next tour date. Let's get June the 9th, and then we can go into some positive games.
Wow, dude.
Tour dates is crazy work.
Well, it's the kiss of death. Once you get the Ron thumbs up. I mean, once you said Klay Thompson stinks, he's actually been shooting it pretty well lately too. So
he's pretty good.
Can you say the Mavs will absolutely not get the number 1 pick this year?
The Mavs will not get the number 1 pick this year under any circumstance.
Did we?
I promise you.
Oh, okay.
A high five is insane.
I'm about to say, I mean, if you think the basketball guy is about to reward this franchise with another number 1 overall pick, I got a bridge to tell you. Quit playing with me, man. Look, I will say, yes, Klay made 6 threes. He led the team with 19 points. He took 16 of the damn things. In the year of our Lord 2025,
6 for 16 is great.
He missed 10 of them.
It doesn't matter. 6 for 16 is 38%. That's really good.
Yeah, that's really good from 3. That's really good.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll go with it.
I mean, it just is. It just is.
I mean, cool. Like I said, I'll go with it.
You go 7 of 16. You're the best shooter. It's 45%. Like you're breaking records.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I get it. My overall point I'm getting to is Klay Thompson leading your team with 19 points in the year of our Lord 2025. You're not winning games. You're just not.
Well, normally he doesn't lead them in scoring.
That's my point. You're making my point.
And they weren't winning games either. So they tried something different.
Okay.
Next game, it's going to be Cisse.
It's going to be
The game
Cisse
after that,
go for 25.
it's going to be Gafford.
The fact that Bobby keeps saying Cisse's name to try to just
Hey,
manifest
look,
a 20-point
again,
performance.
Cisse was first team I can't go back all-star again tonight. Like,
Yeah, he's not going
I
back.
love his
He can't
energy.
go back.
I love it. Like, you keep trying him, he going to keep sending your stuff. Almost cuss. He going to keep sending your stuff back in the fifth row. Like, it's just what it is with him. So, you know.
It's going to get
And,
real weird when Caleb Martin leads the team in scoring, where no one is going to see that
won't
one
be
coming.
happening, Bobby. Bobby, that won't be
If
happening.
Caleb Martin
But,
leads the team at any point
If
this
PJ's
season
going to miss time,
in scoring, where's one of them Michelob Ultras? I'll crush one of them Michelob Ultras during a post-game show. Like,
if Caleb Martin is getting real minutes, and it's crazy. You know, I've talked to Caleb Martin off the court. He's a really good guy, man. But if Caleb Martin is getting heavy minutes, man, this season is hit even a lower rock bottom. I mean, he's probably one of the better point of attack defenders, Bobby. But
say it like you believe it now. You slowing down. Say it like you believe it.
He's not really like good at it. Like, he's just one of the best on this team. He's okay at that.
he's good in general. He's a good defender.
He's good.
He's good. Raw and he's figuring it out. Yeah.
But like, I mean, here's the issue with him is like this team is already the worst offensive team in the league, and they don't give him minutes.
Right.
So it's like, they can't, because of the other players on the team, they can't afford to play him for his defense, even if they wanted to.
Correct. Yeah.
Which I think they do want to.
I think they want to. Yeah. I mean, they're short on bigs as it is, and at this rate, we don't know when Anthony Davis is coming back. Hopefully, Dereck II is getting closer to a return. Gafford giving you everything.
Hopefully, in the year of our Lord 2025, we see Anthony Davis. I mean, at this point, I genuinely don't know what to say. There's like no update. All we're getting is like reports from our guy Stein and other reporters out there. But like Jason Kidd is not giving really. All you say he's progressing. No timeline. Nothing on Anthony Davis, nothing on Dereck Lively. Dereck Lively to me, he's even more curious because I genuinely don't know what happened. And I can't find, like, I've tried to look for the video. It's just, he just got hurt one game, finished the game, and it was like he's on an injury report. We thought he missed one game, and it's been 9, I think, now. So it's really just for a Mavs fan, it just feels like once again, the injuries have just started to pile up, and they don't even have, like, anything to look forward to. Like, when is this coming to an end?
The only answer Jason Kidd needs to give when he's asked a question about Anthony Davis and his, calf and when he's going to return, that's above me now. Because Patrick Dumont has made that his personal cause.
Yeah, it's canon. That is not a J Kidd decision anymore.
Yeah, that is a Patrick Dumont special at this particular point. So,
which, you know what? That's fine with me, dude. Take ownership of it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's going on. We all know.
Yeah.
We can all see what's going on.
So there's that.
Well, Mavs fans, you don't want Nico Harrison. We blame Nico for everything, and now Patrick Dumont might turn to Jerry Jones. I'm just warning you now.
Hey, relax.
All right, you better watch your mouth.
Relax.
Tanner, where's the mute button?
Yeah, relax. You're doing a lot.
When those owners start to make decisions, everybody, hey, I'm just saying, ask the Phoenix Suns how did it go when the owners started giving advice to the coach and other players. Please, it's a team they just saw. I'm just saying, man, especially the person's not a basketball person and he's going off of I feels.
Well, it's not feels. He wants the data, but it would normally be the GM's call, but the previous GM apparently wanted him to play even though he wasn't ready.
He's trying to rush him back too.
Now they have 2 interim GMs that probably neither of them want to make the decision about a possible, I wouldn't want to if I'm an interim. I'm not putting my future in the league on the line for this guy or for any guy.
Yeah, it's just an unreal situation that Dumont's gone from persona non grata to give me the medicals to me personally. Give them to me personally. Right. Okay, and I'll make the call.
And Anthony Davis's agent, to my knowledge, is Clutch Sports, is Rich Paul. I was leaving.
Yeah. I mean, our guy, and we'll talk to Stein about it here in just a minute, but yeah, Stein has reported that, Rich Paul and Patrick Dumont have formed a good relationship. So they are constantly talking with one another. So, take that for what it is, and we'll see what happens. Anything else?
I mean, I would just say one, I would never burn Rich Paul. Every owner should have a good relationship with Rich Paul because if you don't, he has a lot of sway in this league. I would do my best to. I'm not. You can't make him happy every single time, but just not to burn him because a lot of his clients, or just Clutch Sports in general's clients, are already on the Mavericks. It just isn't good for the state of the team if you kind of burn one of the biggest agents.
I mean, we'll have these conversations down the road, but the team, once Anthony Davis is healthy and available to play, should be able to do what they can to get him on the floor when he's 100% healthy, can play consistent stretches, and then do right by him and find him a good situation and try to find him win a championship. And then try to recoup some draft capital and go from there. But, again, those are conversations that we will have in the coming days and weeks because we'll have time. We will have time for that. He knows sports. You can find him on X at Ron Knows Sports. He's our DLLS Mavs beat writer. Ron Harrod Jr. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, everybody.
Bye, Ron.
Let's take our final break here on our DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome in our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. My goodness, the reporting that he has done over the last 24 hours. We've got a lot to get to with him, and we'll do that coming up next.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, you got it?
I'll do it. Hey, you should become a diehard. And you can do that by scanning the QR code right. Oh, boy.
It's right there.
Right
yeah.
there.
That's right.
That's where you go, or go to alldlls.com in your preferred web browser of your preference and choice, and you can sign up to become a diehard. What you are doing by doing that is pledging some financial support, throwing some cash our way, making it rain on me and Kevin, and supporting what we're doing here at DLLS Sports. And in exchange, you're getting a free shirt of your choice. We got more than 50 shirts to choose from, including Tanner.
What? I mean,
I don't know.
Oh,
Just any of them.
we have
Look
these?
at those, including those. The Face-Off collection, if you're a Dallas Stars fan.
Or
Paige. A Paige Beckers inspired roadie shirt, because even though WNBA season has been over for a little bit now, she's still the Rookie of the Year. The year isn't over.
I got a stat for you when you get done with this that you will not believe.
Okay.
Some college basketball tonight.
You get a free shirt of your choice and a discount on any other merch and live events. And we actually, I believe, do have some events coming up. You also get to join the DLS Diehard Discord, a great place to hang out with fellow diehards and hang out with hosts of the show and producers of the show as well, including Ron, who's in Discord now.
He's in Discord now, yeah.
We got him in there after the last
All
game.
right.
And you get to read the entire website. That's really the main draw. You get all the written content, all that primo stuff from Ron on the Mavs beat, Jeff Wilson on Rangers, Sam Nessler, Sean Shapiro on Stars, Clarence Hill and Ali Jawad on the Cowboys. There's always something going on at DFW Sports, and we are on top of all of it with those 4 teams. And you get a physical diehard card, and it's great. And we also have a newsletter. It's free. That one is free. You don't have to pay for anything. Go to alldls.com, scroll down to the bottom, and sign up for our daily newsletter. Thank you so much for your time and your support.
So I got a stat for you real quick before we bring Marc Stein on. This came from women's college basketball tonight.
All right.
So you know who Hannah Hidalgo is?
Notre Dame, right?
Yeah. Notre Dame.
I saw the stat line.
You saw that stat line?
I did.
Hannah Hidalgo tonight, just for folks who don't know who that is, terrific point guard for Notre Dame. She had a stat line tonight. Check this out. 44 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and Tanner, 16 steals.
How is that even possible?
How is that possible?
16 steals.
How is it possible?
That's unreal. I've never seen.
Were they playing against a middle school team?
I don't know who the hell they were playing. And check this out. She did all this work in 28 minutes.
Unbelievable. I didn't see the 28 minutes.
28 minutes. 28 minutes. 44, 16 steals, 9 rebounds, 4 assists.
Dude.
She went 60 to 25 from the field in 28 minutes.
Wow.
There's a Mavs turnover joke in there somewhere, but
Probably.
Oh, was she playing the Mavs?
No. You couldn't miss her if she was. Before we get to tomorrow, let's get the $4.99 super chat. Lively used Javier Ramirez, $4.99 super chat. Lively used to be untouchable to me, but with the rise of Moussa,
Henry, can you scroll back up?
yeah, you go back, scroll back up for me. Sorry about that. Is DLLS ready to pull the plug on Lively? The best ability is availability. No.
No. I'm still a huge Dereck Lively believer, but I do need to see it to believe it. And
Agreed.
you know, There was a time about a year ago I sat in this chair and I said that the list of NBA players I would trade Dereck Lively for is very short, and Devin Booker is not on that list. That was probably the worst take of all time. And I apologize on behalf of my family, my friends, my city, my state, my nation, my continent, my hemisphere, my planet, my solar system, and my galaxy for that one.
Not worst take of all time.
That's an all-time. It was a good take at the time. It aged about as badly as a take has ever aged.
Damn.
I could think of some that aged worse, but that was a pretty bad sports take.
Damn. That's bad. I feel bad for you. Let's bring in our National NBA Insider. You can always dial the Stein line at the Stein line. He, of course, is Dapper Stein. Yep, we're so back. There it is.
That's right.
Yeah, we're back every time. Marc Stein here joining us on the program. Marc, what's going on?
Gents, good evening.
Good evening.
Let's not belabor the time. Let's get into it. Mavericks fall tonight, 123-114. But obviously, the last 24 hours has been quite insane in a number of areas. You did some more fresh reporting today with respect to 9 different items when it comes to what the last 9 months have been like, including the regime change that includes Matt Riccardi and Michael Finley. Let's just start there. Those two gentlemen now running together the basketball operations of this team. How did we arrive with those two being the ones selected for this?
Well, I think we knew, even as we were talking in recent days, once it became, we were starting to get the idea that this could happen by the weekend. So obviously the Mavs were going to have to install an interim structure because they weren't going to, they did not come into the season expecting to make this kind of change. I firmly believe that Patrick Dumont wanted to give Nico Harrison this whole season to try to turn this thing around again, because Nico Harrison, the trade concept was his, the push to trade Luka Doncic was his, this was the direction he wanted to take the team, but he needed Patrick Dumont's sign off. And all summer long, coming into the season, Patrick Dumont's approach was, if I backed him, if I signed off on this, I've got to give him a chance to try to lead the franchise past it. But it just got so untenable so quickly this season because of the losing, the manner of the losses, what the atmosphere has been like here, that they decided they couldn't wait anymore. A change had to be made. And so you go with a 2 GM interim structure, which I think what that really tells us is this is going to be a group decision-making scheme in the short term anyway. They want to do a search, which is not ideal and not easy to do once the season has already started. But also in that piece, you referenced the words that were shared with me, prudent and thorough. That was the way it was described to me, that the search that that is the expectation, the sort of search that Patrick Dumont wants to run. Now, to this point, I'm told there has not been a search firm identified. That still could happen. But, they're going to have to decide what kind of GM they want to bring in here. Do you want someone with a big name and a big reputation? Like I think Bobby Carrella's been saying, Moussa Ujiri would be high on his list. Moussa is obviously available. Or are you looking for a different kind of GM? That's saying we don't really know yet what they're exactly looking for in terms of the permanent successor, but it's not going to happen overnight. A search is going to be required, and an in-season search was not the anticipation. So Riccardi and Finley are your interim GMs, but again, I think Jason Kidd's going to have a significant level of input, and I think Patrick Dumont, what he has showed us here, he is more involved than he's been at any point. He's coming up on 2 years. When we pass Thanksgiving, that will be basically the 2-year point since the team was sold and he emerged as the operating owner for the new ownership group. And we had never seen him get involved in an on-court matter like he's been involved with Anthony Davis. So I think that shows us that he is going to be more involved, at least in the short term, than he's been. And that is definitely something notable that we need to keep track of.
Where is Mark Cuban in all of this now?
Mark Cuban has restored a level of dialogue. I mean, you guys all saw him walk off the court with Patrick on Monday night. He has, regained, I would say, a little bit of voice. Specifically how much? I mean, I can't sit here and really give you a percentage, but I also reported earlier this week, Monday pregame, I actually witnessed it. Both Rick Welts and then Mark Cuban went into meetings with Patrick Dumont before Monday's game against Milwaukee even happened. So I think it's pretty well known at this point that, Mark has pushed for Dennis Lindsay to come back. Sorry, guys. My end of the night, my voice is always gone.
Same.
Mark Cuban has pushed for, well, you guys aren't coughing like me. Why am I still coughing? It's been a month. I'm so sick of it. Okay, rant over. I think it's pretty well known at this point that Mark has been advocating for the return of Dennis Lindsay. Dennis Lindsay, of course, was here as an advisor to Nico Harrison the year they went to the finals. He was immediately hired after that finals run by the Detroit Pistons to be the number 2 to Trajan Langdon with the Pistons. So I think he's a candidate. To say he's more than a candidate at this point, I think would be taking it too far. He's going to be someone presumably considered part of the search, but it's been stressed to me they really do want to make it a search. They don't just want to hire someone tomorrow.
Can I ask a?
You can ask anything.
Whenever you said, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it that's not just like.
And especially if you can help me stop coughing, you can ask me anything.
All right, perfect. Well, let me talk in circles while you take a sip of water. So earlier you said that the big name kind of like, like the Messiahs, like Messiah is like president of B-Ball Ops, like he's like the top, is gonna obviously like a star executive is gonna demand a lot of influence and as they deserve. And then you said, or another kind of GM. That to me sends off a bit of an alarm because I know the previous regime before Nico and even the first couple years of Nico was really like there was a GM by name, but it was more of like a collaborative / just like Mark Cuban making a lot of decisions and other people.
No, but see, you know what though? I actually don't totally agree. I mean, look, Mark was obviously very hands-on and super involved in everything, but Donnie Nelson was, had a very loud voice and a lot of influence, and I think did have a lot of say in the direction. I mean,
for sure, but like so did Bob, and so did Finley, and it was like every year on draft night, it was like, all right, who's going to get credit for this pick? Because there's like 5 different people, so like, do you is a return to that sort of like collaborative thing?
No, but here's the thing. I guess the reason I'm struggling for my words there is because we genuinely don't have a picture yet of what Patrick Dumont is looking for in a GM. I think that's kind of the mystery here. He's, like we've spoken his name and talked about stuff he's done more in the past week than we did in the preceding 5, 6, 7 months. I mean, last season, it would have had people on the floor to hear that he was even in the discussions on when is AD getting back on the court. So I just think I'm putting my hand up and saying that we are still trying to get that more complete picture of what Patrick Dumont is looking for. Like when he hired Rick Welts, okay, you need a new CEO to run the business side. Rick Welts is literally a Hall of Famer. It's like that makes total sense that he would go after him and, just keep recruiting him until he convinced him to come out of retirement. I mean, that one makes a lot of sense. It's not clear to me yet how experienced of a GM do they want? Do they want someone to come in here and do a total overhaul? Is it someone who's going to work more in partnership with Jason Kidd? Like I know they're all valid questions. I'm not trying to duck them. I don't have all those answers yet, and I'm trying to get them.
In the final weeks and days.
We have 59.
Oh,
59.
yes. Let's thank our television audience for joining us here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. The conversation will continue over on alldlls.com. Visit alldlls.com, become a diehard member today. Our nationally made insider, Marc, thank you for the reminder. Our nationally made insider, Marc Stein, joining us here on our DLLS Mavs post-game show after the Mavericks fall 123-114. Going over some of the reporting that he has done over the last 24 hours. And, you know, a lot has been made about how we got to this point. From your perspective, you mentioned that, you know, it just became untenable for Nico Harrison to continue in his role. When you start to look forward now for this team, is defining a vision within the purview of Matt Riccardi and Michael Finley? Will they be given that permission to kind of define and chart that course before a new GM is hired to determine what the features of Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson to a degree, will look like by the time we get to the trade deadline?
I mean, look, on one hand, trade season doesn't start in earnest till December 15th when all the free agents from the summer can be traded. But they're having serious conversations evaluating the roster. Like, it's not like, I mean, no, Matt Riccardi and Michael Finley do not have the level of authority that Nico Harrison had, but like, they're obviously gonna, you know, they already have to start I mean, again, 3-9 now. I mean, now I'm going to ask the Corral illustrator to do it. What I feel like I've asked him every show. 3-9 start. You know, how bad is it? I mean, the playoffs are slipping away already with every single loss. And so the Mavericks are forced, but they have to do it as a collective. But that doesn't stop Matt Riccardi and Michael Finley from making suggestions, they've got to start thinking about, okay, what are we going to do with this roster? Are we going to start prioritizing draft position? That is a conversation. Whoever's having it, they have to start having it like now. There's no waiting for the next GM. But, that does potentially, that is why you don't want to do a search in season, because anyone that they ultimately hire is inheriting a situation with all these complications. I mean, that's obviously not ideal, but we've long since passed the point of ideal. Like, everyone within the Mavericks organization has to face the reality of what's going on right now. I mean, this team it's a 3-9 start and a home heavy start. And the February 5th trade deadline, I mean, it's not fast approaching yet, but you can see it down the road. So, I mean, they're going to have to decide how to approach this trade season that again, starts in earnest December 15th. I wrote in the piece today, and I heard you mention it when Ron was still on, because for some reason I connected to this too. I was 5 minutes ahead of schedule. I misread the instructions. Rich Paul and Patrick Dumont have struck up a relationship here over the past several months since they were introduced at the play-in game in Sacramento. And just the sense I get to this point is, I think there will be discussion between the parties. Like, if the Mavs decide, you know what, we have to try to see what the trade market is, we have to start prioritizing the future, I don't see the Mavs just doing that independently. I think they would do it with a level of discussion in concert with AD's camp. But here's the other reality. AD has missed 7 straight games. He's only played 14 of 45 possible regular season games since the trade. He's got to get back on the floor for a sustained period of time before there can be any real trade discussions anyway. I mean, there is not going to be any kind of offer that the Mavs even want to consider until he's playing again regularly, because he's missed so much time. What kind of offer realistically are they going to generate? So, but in terms of evaluating the roster and where to go from here, I don't think anybody's holding back. I mean, I think serious evaluation has already begun, because again, this start is so worrisome and so much of it is at home. They're going to play 13 of 18 at home. And that means the schedule over the final 64 games is going to be brutal.
It is 32 teams have started 3-9 or worse and gone on to make the playoffs. The only 3 teams to do that in the last 9 years all did it by way of the play-in. And the first 9 that did it played whenever there was only 8 teams in the league. Meanwhile, 230 32 have made it. Meanwhile, 230 have missed. So 12.2%, roughly 1 out of every 8 teams to start that bad or worse goes on to make the playoffs. 7 out of every 8 go on to miss. So it's like an 88% chance that the season is cooked.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. They've done
32 out of 262.
Right. So they know that mathematically speaking, the playoffs are almost out of reach already. It's history says 88% chance this team does not make the playoffs. So because 2026 is the only draft between now and 2031 that the Mavs control their first round pick, I mean, they're going to have, the reality is staring them in the face. This is all about Cooper Flagg trying to get him as much help on his timeline as possible. That has to be the approach. And, if we see it, I think they see it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have these conversations over the coming days and weeks, and it's going to be much easier said than done. But to me, the path is clear. You have an aging roster that's expensive. You got an 18-year-old phenom who you've got to start to begin to build around now to maximize the future that you have with him. And you have to do that within a window of a year because you don't have control of your picks for 5 years. And this 26 draft is as rich of a draft class as you're going to find in recent memory. To me, the path is right there. The question is,
and it is, but it's not that easy to just say, okay, we're trading.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's easier said than done. Then obviously,
right now, until he starts playing again, to me, it's kind of, it's just empty talk show talk. And that's why I do think it's great that Patrick Dumont got involved and said, there was the push for AD to play in Washington. AD wanted it. I think Nico wanted it. And Patrick Dumont was like, no, we have to, it's too risky. We have to be more cautious because of his injury history. And I think it is wise to be as cautious as you can. So when AD does get back on the floor, he can put together 6 to 8 weeks of sustained good play. If he can play 6 to 8 weeks at his usual level, then maybe a trade market will form closer to the deadline on Feb 5.
That word "if" is carrying the weight of the entire
observable
universe
lifting
on his shoulders.
It's doing some heavy lifting.
If he could play for 6 to 8 weeks, I would be amazed.
But here's the other thing. That's not the only trade that's, again, we've been talking about Gafford, I think, on a lot of recent shows. That's something they're going to have. You don't want to trade Gafford, but I think with his contract and his productivity, there's going to be interest. And if you can get something good for Daniel Gafford when you still have Lively here and you're prioritizing the future, I think you got to give that real consideration.
Not even real, you got to do it.
Yeah, you might just have to go ahead and do it.
He's the third best center on the team right now. They only have 2 centers.
You got to make sure that, that it's a good offer too, though. Obviously teams out there they know the situation that the Mavs are in. So, you want to get good value for him. But look, from the minute Gafford signed that contract, he took the exact max number he could take and still be trade eligible all season. So Daniel Gafford has been a trade candidate this season since late June when he signed that extension. That's just the reality. And, we'll see what kind of market forms for him. But to me, it's more likely a market's going to form for Gafford than for AD or Clay or, other players you might want to suggest.
We'll do a much more deeper dive into the reporting that you did today on.
I have one question.
I'm sorry,
before we play him off. Yeah. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, Mark. So I don't want to reveal too much from the Substack piece. Obviously, subscribe to the Steinline Substack. It is great, and it's very affordable. It's just good. You should just do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
Just go do it.
Just
Howard.
go do that.
Just go sub.
Yeah.
But you also make it a point in there to mention that Michael Finley, who is now kind of acting sort of interim co-GM, he was obviously photographed taking the beer out of Luka's hand in 2024 when the team is when he's celebrating the Western Conference Finals victory in Minnesota. And you say you report that the beer was returned to Luka. It was just an optics thing, and that also Finley was probably the most opposed to the trade of any of the Mavs decision makers. And first off, I just want to thank you for reporting that.
Yes, thank you.
Because at the time, this is something that I knew why that happened at the time in May 2024, and I was working for the Mavs, so I'm not going to talk about it because it's none of my business really. And obviously, it wasn't a big deal until the trade, and then it gained a new life of its own. At that time, in early February, I was doing some posting online, kind of like preemptively, like, "Hey, just be cool to Mavs ticket salespeople. Like they deserve your respect, even if you're really upset." And a lot of people were really, 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 really mad at me for even hinting that Mavs employees are human beings. And so I didn't really feel personally up to the fight to say that Finley thing was a big nothing burger, basically. And I know that fans didn't want to hear that anyway, but I do regret not saying that at the time because, like, Michael Finley has done nothing but incredible things for this organization. There was one season he played 83 games. Because he had already played one more with Phoenix than the Mavs had. He did not miss a game for many years. He was the team's best player and then quickly became their third best player. And Dirk Nowitzki credits a lot of his success to Michael Finley and helping pass the torch down to Dirk. And then he got amnestied by the Mavs. That's why he went to the Spurs, not by choice. And he won a ring and then came
Which is interesting because
right
I know a lot of people think he just went to the Spurs. Like,
no,
he didn't.
Mark Cuban made him go.
He didn't leave the Mavericks for the Spurs. Mark Cuban amnestied Michael Finley, and then he joined the Spurs as a free agent.
And he got the ring that he deserved, and then finished out his career playing in Boston, whatever. And then he came back to Dallas and was an executive, drafted Jalen Brunson, was part of a many, many, many great years in Dallas, and is such a nice guy, a great dude, an all-time great Mav, very important piece of this culture, this foundation of this entire thing. And it never sat right with me that fans were as viscerally upset about that as they were. Granted, they didn't know the whole context, but as someone that did, I'm really upset with myself for not saying it sooner.
If you just watch the clip, that's the thing. And I just think that, that clip is just taken on a life of its own, and conclusions are drawn because that's all you see. But what I wrote today was the part of that clip, the part of the story that is nowhere to be found in that clip is it was purely just because they were in the hallway and didn't want pictures to be taken when they were in public view. Everybody went back to the locker room. The drink was returned. Celebrations continued. Everyone was celebrating because the Mavs were not expected to get in the finals that year. They really were. That was peak the way they played in that series to beat the Wolves in 5. And yeah, it's just a part of the story that has never really been explained right. So
in that video, you can hear someone off camera, and I know exactly who it is. Not going to say it because it doesn't matter. But you can hear someone off camera say, "Hey, there's cameras," and that's whenever Mike grabs the beer, and then Luka turns to that person and says, "There's no cameras," kind of like joking, because obviously Mavs reporter Grant Afseth was like mere feet away from him. Right. Luka knew that there were cameras, but obviously that is like an organizational and not just organizational thing to keep a certain kind of image. It's an optics thing. That stuff happens a lot in the NBA. That one was just caught on camera. And it did take on a life of its own, but hopefully.
So I guess we've never talked about this. So I guess you were still with the team. So where were you then? Like, where were you?
I was in Studio 41 with Isaac Harris, and and Chopper and some other folks that night, and I streamed into the wee hours of the morning. It was a beautiful evening.
I think I caught some of
So
that
you
too.
you
after
weren't
I
actually
came home from,
you actually weren't
Oh, yeah?
you weren't
Yeah.
physically you weren't in Minneapolis physically.
No, I was not. And in fact, I think I saw the clip that night and had a nice laugh about it, probably on stream, but I just didn't. I didn't say that's just an optics thing. Again, I just feel bad. Not that me crusading against in favor of Michael Finley's reputation would have done anything at all, but like I'm really happy that hopefully now, thanks to your reporting, and I'm sure other stuff will come out about it, whatever. Like we all need to love Michael Finley. That is a good man.
This is burning up, and I have to ask this question because I can't leave it unturned right now because, I mean, you brought up Michael Finley. So you talked about in your reporting that he was opposed to the trade in and of itself. How deep into this was Nico by the time he brings this to Finley? It's like, hey, I'm about to trade Luka. Like, he's opposed to it, but how deep is it by the time Finley has a chance to even oppose it?
9 months later, I'm still trying to put that whole puzzle together. I mean, I think pretty deep into it, but also I'm my feeling on it has always been based on what I know. And, again, I'm still 9 months removed from the trade, still trying to piece it together precisely and exactly. But my feeling, my read, I should probably say, my best read to this point has always been, I really think only Dumont could have stopped it. I think Nico was that determined to make the trade. And, the combination of Patrick being so new to it, and he decided, I'm only going to listen to my GM. I will forever wonder why. Like, at that point, Mark Cuban's voice had been, he had been sidelined almost completely by the trade deadline in 2025. But the two NBA people that Patrick Dumont did know well at that point were Mark Cuban and Dirk Nowitzki. And I will just always be curious why they weren't brought in at that point for his own footing to ask for another opinion. But it didn't happen, and the rest, as they say, is history.
We'll do more of a deep dive into Marc Stein's reporting from today because there's a lot more to get into, and we'll do that on our show tomorrow at noon.
We have a show tomorrow?
Before I go,
Yes.
wait a minute. I want to. You guys know I always say when I'm in here, I can't see the chat. So give me what are all our friends saying tonight?
It's been fairly benign, honestly.
I think it's mostly people saying like, should they like purposely tank? Should they trade everybody? Like we got a Henry Diesel super chat. Actually, if we want to get into that, basically like what length should they go to? So for $1.99, Henry Diesel 23, trade Kai, Clay, and AD, and take the OKC route. So that is I would say on the pretty far extreme. If considering trading Kyrie and doing something as long as OKC
again,
did. That was like.
But then you also have
years.
to say like, what if there's no trade market for some of those players? I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not just what the Mavs want to do. They're going to have to see what the market is for, do they take an anybody but Cooper stance? I think it's way too soon to know that. I'm sure, I don't think they know that at this point. But I feel like we've been saying this for the last few shows. I think you don't want to say tanking, the draft position prioritization is already taking place just by virtue of the way these games are playing out. Like,
hey man,
they tried to win tonight. They tried to win tonight when they cut the what was it? What they cut it to in the fourth? 4-3. They were trying to win.
Let me give you. I'm not one to give advice unsolicited, but we have that relationship, so I can do this. Hey, don't ever use that many words to say tanking again. Like, we know what it is. Like, we get it. Like, I know what you got to do, but come on, man.
What did I say?
Draft position prioritization. Like,
yeah, that's some.
Like, what is that?
I'm gonna put that on my LinkedIn.
What is that? That's as bad as what the NBA All-Star concept is now.
No, nothing's that bad.
There's a negative chance that I will watch any All-Star anything.
That
ever.
is a lie. That is a lie.
He's serious. He's not watching that.
Do not.
Father,
Yeah, don't take it with a good time.
Super John Zesty could be doing a three-day concert tour in Dallas. You're still gonna watch something.
No, I will be at the show. I'll sit in a different spot every time to get a different vantage point.
Cooper will be at All-Star Weekend. You're not gonna watch.
No.
We should make Bobby do a solo watch along.
Do a watch along for the Rising Stars game.
The whole All-Star Weekend.
15 seconds into that, I'll be playing chess.
Wait a minute. Is that the voice of Tanner? Is Tanner back?
Yes, Tanner's back.
All right. Chat had to be happy about that.
For sure.
They're thrilled.
For sure. Bye, Mark. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, Mark. No, we
Bye,
won't.
guys.
We'll see you on Friday, right?
Why won't we talk to him tomorrow? You know, on the show tomorrow?
There's 4 games this week, Super Kevin Gray.
Damn it, Mark. All right. Bye. Get out of here.
Bye, Mark.
Bye.
I'll see you on Friday. Oh,
jeez.
there he goes.
So disappointing. We love Mark, though. He works very hard. He works hard all the time. It's time for us to go because Tanner's been looking at me with some side eye for the last 20 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and go.
We've gone over so much lately.
I mean, it's been a lot to
I know there
go
has.
over. It's been a lot to
there
go
has
over.
been.
In fact,
Jeff Kavanaugh
we
would
owe
be
Tanner an
disgusted.
extra half hour after he'd been gone for the last.
Yeah, actually, Tanner, do you want to just get on here for an hour while we go home?
Exactly. You want to make it for lost time? No, okay.
12 hours away. We get to talk about it some more.
We appreciate our guy Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Thank you to our nationally made insider Marc Stein for joining us as always, and our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr. for joining us from the AAC as well. The Mavericks fall to the Phoenix Suns 123-114 to drop to 3-9 on the season. They will be back on the floor on Friday, but we will have a show tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports, so make sure you join us then. That is our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Curl. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good.
We all silly like the mayor.